Hello, all you. Welcome to Plathville fans. My name is Jenny. This is Reality TV Breakdown, and we are talking about Season 6, Episode 3 today.
Yes, another review.
The title is They're All Freaks Here. The title is a little misleading. They're not all freaks here. I don't know. There's one line, but it's a throwaway line. I don't know why they chose that. Interesting. So the episode opens up with Olivia still in Arizona with her sister. Insert eye roll here. Yeah, not thrilled. Just don't care. Okay. Wow. I really move on right away. That's all I wrote. Obviously was unmemorable. Let me jump ahead to the next time they're on the screen, and that is the two of them, Olivia and her sister, Lydia Grace, go out on the town, but they're at a restaurant bar. They're like at an Applebee's. They thought they'd pick up people there? I don't know. This feels so highly produced that it was uncomfortable to even watch. Basically sat there by themselves until the producer sent a couple randoms over to talk to them, and then that was the end of it. It was just odd. Maybe it's because it's a controlled environment and they could get all the signatures from all the people there, because there were only like 10 people in the whole place. So. Way to go, TLC. We cut to Barry and his three boys all together going to the gym. Again, highly produced, not so interesting, kind of didn't care that much. Although it was interesting to see how Barry can actually bench more than any of his sons. So Barry has really reclaimed his life since his divorce and has putting all of his frustration into the gym. We're back now with Lydia and Mariah. The real Lydia. Well, the real Lydia, please stand up. Lydia, the Plath member. So they're at home and they're in the huge master bedroom that is Mariah's home with her dog, whose name I can't remember, very large dog. And Mariah is going through all her clothes and seeing if there's anything Lydia wants. Now, there's no way there's anything that Lydia wants, because what Mariah is doing is saying, I'm going through a new phase in my life. I went through a period of time of rebellion and wanting to express myself, and I did that. I would say she did it through clothing, but she kind of did it through showing skin. She did it through very little clothes. And she has decided that her style has evolved and changed as she's grown up and matured, and she's getting rid of a lot of this stuff. So they're going through it, but again, just something to do to get the two of them talking. What was interesting, we find out a little bit more about Lydia and where she was, because Mariah made reference to the fact that she was away. I was hoping she was traveling with the new boyfriend. Turns out her and the boyfriend just broke up. So that's a shame. Now, we don't get any real emotions about it. Like, if Lydia could open up and share, she might be more interesting. But she doesn't. I don't know. Maybe she can't. She's very Ethan-like in that way. Very, shiny, happy people-ish. Smile and pretend like everything is okay. I mean, she'd been dating him for a while. I mean, that had to have been traumatic. And to have her have zero negative emotions on her face was a little disappointing. Mariah is more real. And when she was talking about her breakup, I think she even cried. But you could see the emotion on her face. So she's just more relatable. All right, so when Lydia was gone, apparently she went on a 2-month mission trip somewhere, which I think was in the United States. And then she said from there she went to Minnesota, so that would be to visit the family she has up there in Ethan. And then she went down to the Keys in Florida, which is fun. Then she went to Tennessee for a while, and then northern Georgia. I don't know anything about Georgia, really. So I can't say why that is a destination point when she already lives in Georgia. Like, I would never say I'm traveling and then include in my list of things another part of Ohio that I don't live in. just wouldn't do that, but she did. Okay, so she's been traveling. That's great. And it's been like a year. So what she was doing in all these locations, I have no idea, because the mission trip was only 2 months. So I don't know, but she seems happy. She seems, she always seemed happy, but she seems, I don't know. What does she seem? A little more talkative, even though we're not getting a lot of substance. Baby steps, I guess.
Baby steps.
Mariah mentions that she is considering going to college. She's trying to decide if she wants to kind of push forward at this point in her life and like really make music her career, or should she go to college? I don't think she said what she was going to go to college for. And then Lydia said that she was also thinking about going to college. So I hope they both do. And I hope they both find lovely men while they're there. We're back to Olivia and Lydia Grace, because apparently the producers think we care. It's a real interesting dichotomy, Olivia. She acts one way, but says something else. She will talk very provocatively and very sexually and all that, but then say, but I don't like to go out and I can't see myself with somebody else. I just like to stay at home and read books. I don't know which part is fake. I don't know if she's truly 100% of a homebody. They just seem contradictory. It's not like you can't go have fun. You can go have fun and still be somebody who likes to stay home and read books. But she everything she says to her sister, they're always, and with Ethan, it's these sexual innuendos all the time that you make, when you first learn about what sex is. It's very immature and childish. She's showing her maturity level every time she does it. And I roll when I see it. And then she says, I feel at pace with life.
That's brilliant.
Talk about putting a bunch of words together that have zero meaning. We're all at pace with life. If we weren't, we'd be dead. Okay. She also said that she is taking time now to fill her life with positive things and people, which I just wrote irony next to it because she was kind of a downer. She's always smiley and laughing, but it's more at people's expense, jokes. There doesn't seem to be a pure, deep joy that comes out of her. She doesn't seem content at all in her life. Confusion, upheaval, not knowing who she is, that's what I see. And then that comes out in her occasional aggression, in her voice and in her manner and in her, I think, possessiveness and demandingness in relationships. Of course, Ethan's gone now, so she doesn't have somebody to do that to, so maybe she'll be different, or maybe she'll find somebody else to do that to. Maybe her relationship with her sister will blow up if they continue to spend more time together. I don't know. We'll see. Wish her the best. Oh, wait, there's more. Great. Oh, I've written here, there's more talk about what Ethan's soon-to-be ex-wife and his soon-to-be ex-wife's sister wants to do in their future. I know what I was thinking when I wrote that. Don't care. Peripherals can be gone. Let's just talk about the Plath family, okay? I'm more interested in Micah's girlfriend than I am in the fact that Ethan has an ex-wife and his sister and their conversations. Don't care. Of course, all their future plans, there's no mention of college. That didn't come up. Not that everybody has to go to college, but it was just funny how the editing of TLC, how both Mariah and Lydia are like, I'm thinking about college. They may not end up going, but they're both contemplating it. Not on the radar for these other two. What I also found interesting is Olivia mentioned she's going back to Minnesota and she hopes that she gets the divorce papers signed this time because she doesn't want to keep going back and forth. I don't. How about making a phone call or a text ahead of time and saying, "Are you ready?" Call me crazy.
Kids don't understand logic.
So now we have Ethan deciding he does want to see his 3 little sisters, but they're down in Florida with mom. So he's traveling down there, and Mariah and Micah are going along with him for the ride. No Lydia, I don't know why. I'm assuming she quit her job since she's been traveling for the past year. I don't know. So many, you know what? This is all things that I want to know. These are all the little details about their life. I care about the minuscule, mundane little details of their life. I do. You don't have to add all these peripheral people and just give us a little bit about their lives that we don't care about, TLC. Pull it together. I want to know all the specifics. I want to know the specifics of exactly where Lydia went and for how months in each place and why she was there and where did she stay when she was there. Was it with friends, relatives? Was the boyfriend a part of it and then he wasn't any longer? I mean, we can talk about the boyfriend in third person without mentioning his name, without disparaging him or disgracing him in any way, and just give facts. It doesn't have to be about the breakup. It could just be, oh yeah, he was on the mission trip too, and he also traveled with her to this location, but from that point on, they broke up and then she went on and did more traveling. I mean, that would be interesting to me. I'm so sorry, this camera, every time I get close and far away, it gets brighter, it gets darker. I have tried every setting in the book to fix it, and I can't figure it out. My apologies.
I don't really understand technology.
Okay, anyway, I digress. So 3 of them are heading down to Florida. Ethan's very worried about how it's going to go. He's very quiet in the car. Surprise! The other 2 are a little bit more jokey, but he's just not joining in on the fun. In his talking head, he said he's worried about it because he hasn't seen his mom in a year and a half or something like that because of this whole situation with Olivia. Didn't leave it on a good note. He's still, I think, upset with her. I mean, he's been married, I don't know how many years to Olivia, and Olivia has never liked Kim. So that indoctrination also from her, just like the indoctrination he received from his parents that he had to learn to break away from when he left, he now has to break away from the indoctrination of Olivia saying they're the worst, most horrible people. You should not be associating with your parents. If you do, I'm leaving. Or if you do, I'm not going. You have to go by yourself. TLC did flash back and show the clip where Ethan said, if you don't fully accept Olivia, then you don't have me as a son. That was such a hard scene. And then that was the last time he was really over there. I blame them both in that situation. And by both, I mean both Olivia and Ethan, as well as Kim and Barry. Both sides wrong in that situation. All right, in the talking head, we have Kim, the mom, also agreeing that she's nervous about this get-together because Ethan hasn't been around. He hasn't spoken to her. He has only spent time with Barry, his dad. I found this interesting. In Ethan's talking head, he added, his mom is not like other moms. He said that she's not affectionate and she's not the motherly type. So because of that, he found this getting back together situation awkward. Do I shake her hand? Do I hug her? Do I side hug her? Do I wave? What do I do? I get that because if she's never been an affectionate mom, then it's harder to go back. You know, I was thinking, okay, if I was estranged from my kids and they weren't talking to me for X period of time, and then they decided to come back because I would always talk to them. So I can't relate to that end of it. So on the other side of it, they know that mama wants a hug. There's no doubt mama wants a hug. I remember my son saying to me when I met his girlfriend, we were traveling to another state over the summer to meet his girlfriend, who is a concert cellist, and she was in a performance. That's not her career, but she's an amazing cellist. So we were going to go watch the performance, and I was going to meet her for the first time. We pull up to the area, and we were there early. So we were going to meet with her, visit with her, take her to dinner, and then there was going to be the concert in the evening. So my son says to me in the car, so when you see her and meet her for the first time, are you going to shake her hand, or are you just going to say hi, or is it a hug? And I'm driving and I look at him and I go, have you met me? Of course I'm going to give her a hug. What are you talking about?
I'm a hugger.
I'm gonna hug you.
So anyway, I say that to say, if for some reason a child broke away and came back, they know mama's going to want a hug when they come back. And you know what? Quite frankly, I'd be doing this as they came close to, come to mom. But I'm sort of that motherly type. I just found it interesting that he shared that information with everybody. I like it when real information is shared on the show. And shockingly, it came from Ethan. We got 0 substance out of Olivia, even less than 0 from her sister. We got nothing from Lydia in the family. So yeah, that's where we are in the episode about now. Ethan saved the show. No, he didn't save the show. Okay, what's next here? Hey everybody, this is halfway through the episode. If you could do me a solid, hit the like and subscribe button down below. And one more favor, anytime you do your Amazon shopping, click the link below in the description first. You don't have to purchase the items that are listed below, but by going through that link, Amazon associates will give a little kickback to me, and I appreciate you for doing your Amazon shopping that way. Thank you. Kim in her talking head said that Ethan can be unpredictable. He is an emotional person, and because of this, he can be stewing on the inside about something and you don't know about it, so he won't talk about it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. We've seen that. Ethan needs to get into therapy and learn how to put these feelings to words and get it out. He will feel so much better if he does. So they get there, they get out of the car, very sweet reunion. The 3 little girls go running up and giving big hugs to all 3 of the siblings. They're very excited. And we call them little girls, but like 2 of them are wearing makeup, maybe 3. The one girl's as tall as Ethan, Amber, the oldest of the 3. So, yeah. I got from the show that Kim is permissible about the makeup at this age now because she implies it's because of the divorce and she's away from Barry. She implies that they were all Barry's rules that she complied with. So she's letting them express themselves now. Mercy, the youngest, comes out with a crop top. Yeah, whatever. I don't think they're in style anymore. I get there was a trend there for a while where everybody was wearing them, but it's not necessary anymore. It actually wasn't even, she made it a crop top. It was just a flannel shirt that she pulled up and tied right here so that her belly was showing. Whatever. I don't care. My kids wanted to do that. I wouldn't care. I really wouldn't. I just find it to be a very big departure from where things were before. And I found it interesting that she threw Barry under the bus regarding their clothing and makeup as well. I do think the younger ones are definitely too young to have makeup. Even on Amber, it looks weird. It's almost like mom is consulting them on how to do makeup. Meanwhile, here I am with a little bit of pink lipstick on, which I typically don't have, but I have very small lips and I am not getting any kind of injection, so it makes them show up on screen so you can see them, which is most important when I'm doing my speech therapy with kids and I'm trying to show mouth, tongue, lip placement stuff. So anyway, that being said, you're not going to see me with big blue eyeshadow. I mean, very 1970s/1980s, which is the time Kim grew up in, but okay. In this reunion, Ethan did go hug his mom. So that was nice. He had to initiate it. Mom didn't. She should have opened her arms a little bit or made herself look approachable. But in the end, I was happy that they hugged. I really was. Has Kim driven me crazy at times in the past? Yeah. Am I happy to see her get together with her son? Absolutely. She even started crying a little bit. So there you go. There's some emotion. That's kind of a motherly reaction. Ethan had to have appreciated that, seeing that his mom was that touched that he gave her a hug. So, good stuff. Side note, we get back to the talking head, and we're back to the red smeared lipstick that's gathering in the corners of her mouth and smearing. And the too much blue eyeshadow stuff. Like, she looked so good last episode. Talking head, like really, her hair, her makeup, it looked so good. More understated, more natural, and then boom, we're back to the 1980s. And she's wearing another short skirt. Way too short, that rides up in the back, so when she's walking sideways, the skirt is around here and then goes up in the back, because it's like up above her butt, which makes it look like you could practically see under there. I don't know. Maybe it's a skirt. They just look like they're like a stretchy material kind of skirts. They're not like all cotton. So maybe there's like little shorts on. I mean, there has to be shorts underneath it because they're so short. But you don't see the shorts, so you just see this extremely short skirt, and I was disappointed. But I will point out that later on in the episode, there is another talking head where she's back to looking good. So it's not like there was just one day where a professional hair and makeup person came in and now she's back to doing the Kim. We're just going to call it that. I'm not going to describe it anymore. Demonstrating the Kim look. Okay, there's a quote here from Ethan. It's not a quote. Ethan said the only upside to the breakup with Olivia is that he can now navigate his relationships with other people as he wants to, and he doesn't have to worry about her protesting. That's a big upside. So, I mean, if it's the only upside, that's a little bit sad. But it's a big upside. He added that he wished he hadn't let things get out of control with his relationship with his mom. Taking ownership. I mean, I'd like to see him say that to her. Again, baby steps. So the mom is showing everybody the boat. None of the older kids seem thrilled with this boat. The younger ones seem to like it well enough because I think it feels like an adventure. It's like going camping is an adventure for a short period of time. The older kids just can't understand how she can live there full time. Micah's like, how far do you have to walk to go to the public bathrooms?
Why would you want to do that to yourself?
And to boot, the boat doesn't run.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
It is stuck on the dock. I mean, it's a floating hotel room is really what it is. She can't take it out and take the boat out for a spin. I don't know what's going on. It just doesn't make any sense to me. She obviously got a very good deal on it, or I hope she did. I'll talk about that in a minute. But before that, we have a scene with Mariah and Ethan talking on the side of the boat. Mariah shares with Ethan that the one thing that she's learned during this time since she's moved back home and then also visited her mom more and has kind of tried to rekindle that relationship is that she's noticed that her mom doesn't really get her feelings hurt. That she kind of brushes things off and moves on. And Ethan adds, is that because she's not really feeling anything, you know? If you're not feeling, then your feelings can't get hurt. You're just existing and going through life. Mariah does say maybe, and Ethan adds, I ask because I'm the same way. I don't get my feelings hurt because I don't really feel much. I do love that he's aware of that. Now, we need somebody like Mariah to say, wow, big red flag. Ethan, go talk to a professional. Ethan adds, being 100% vulnerable is very difficult, and I couldn't do it with Olivia because it would turn into a fight, which is why there is so much resentment on my end that built up. Interesting, right? So basically he's saying every time I tried to express myself, if Olivia didn't 100% agree with it, we'd fight. So I learned, don't speak. I never thought before of Olivia being a contributing factor, but that was a big open window into their relationship right there. And then he would get resentful because he wouldn't share his feelings, i.e., don't hang out with your family or your parents anymore. So they don't. Then he comes to her and says, you know, I think it'd be great if I visited my dad and I want to kind of see my brother again. And then the fight ensues. You don't put me as your priority. You don't love me, blah, 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 blah. He doesn't like to deal with all that conflict. Therefore, he knows not to say anything, which is probably why it went a year and a half. I mean, they're not meant for each other. They're not. Ethan adds at the end, in the future, I will have to be more vulnerable and nip things in the bud before they get out of control. Yes. I mean, he has learned. He has grown. Now, we'll see if he implements it. It's one thing to say what you're supposed to do. It's another thing to do it. So, time will tell. At the very end, Kim wants to take everybody to Ken's place to hang out. Ethan says no, he doesn't want to go. I agree. I don't think he should go. Too soon. I mean, he just gave his mother a hug for the first time in a year and a half. Like, he doesn't need to go hang out with Ken. No. I think she was really disappointed in that, but what can you do?
Baby steps.
At the end of the show, we end up back at the Plath family home. All the kids have made it back at the end of the day. They're exhausted and tired. Micah and Isaac are falling asleep on the couch. I guess Isaac got up at 5 in the morning. He must have been working all day. He wasn't on this trip. You can tell that Lydia and Mariah really want to play their guitars and sing songs, but they were hoping that the boys would join in and get guitars and sing as well. The boys don't want to. They end up going to sleep. Ethan was still up. Lydia finally just starts playing her guitar and singing a song. I know she's trying to break out into the music industry. That's probably what she was doing in Nashville, recording something. I want to say she's just a kid. She's not a kid. She's an adult now, I believe. She's not 21, but I think she's 20. Anyway, was her singing terrible? No. Was it a bit flat all the way through? Yeah. Unfortunately. Although, I will say, she's really good at harmonizing in her family. Like, she's not a solo artist, but at the very end of the show, the 3 kids, it was Ethan and Mariah and Lydia, were all singing together. I think 2 of them were playing guitars, and it was beautiful. Their harmonizing is amazing, which is often common in families just because you kind of have the same type of voice, sound of voice. The blending of the voices is beautiful because you're all from the same family. So you kind of have the same type and quality of voice. Gorgeous. And I don't know how familiar she was with the song, but like it was a seamless blending of harmonizing too. She didn't like struggle to find her pitch or anything like that. It was beautiful. It was nice. Right before that, she gave the guitar to Ethan and told him, "Here, you sing something." And he sang a song that he wrote right after the breakup. And in his talking head, he explained that he wrote this song to kind of help him deal with his emotions because he has a hard time expressing himself. So he did it through song. One, he has an amazing bass voice. He's got that low, I can't even do it. But that really low, he has a great voice. He really does. He could, well, I don't know. There's not a whole lot of bass singers out there that really make it, that typically they're the harmonizer in a group. He'd be amazing in a barbershop quartet. He'd be great. He should go to Disney, be on Main Street, and be part of the barbershop quartet. He has the look and the big smile, and I mean, he'd be great. I think those guys are fairly old. But there has to be a new generation coming in. Anyway, they might have a bunch of barbershop quartets, though. The ones when I have seen them have always been fairly old. But anyway, where else? Universal Studios has a barbershop quartet before the Jimmy Kimmel Experience. I guess it's a ride. It's like another visual thing. Anyway, not such a great ride. But I really enjoyed the pre-show stuff even more, which were clips from the show. And then the barbershop quartet that would be on his show every now and then. They came out. I don't even know if Jimmy Kimmel, now that I think about it, didn't his show get canceled? I wonder if they're going to get rid of that exhibit. I mean, it wasn't that great anyway. It would be okay if it went. But I believe it's fairly new-ish, like in the past decade. Which is pretty new for a ride to be closed. Okay, back to the topic at hand here. Y'all write down below if that's open still, and let me know if Jimmy Kimmel even has a show anymore. I don't watch late night television. I'm watching TLC and taking notes and recording videos and editing, and that's my late night entertainment. Okay, so in the song, we'll end it with this. There were a couple lines that I wrote down because it was him being vulnerable. Mariah said that it was touching that she could see this was his vice for getting his emotions out. And he even said that after writing the song that singing this just makes him feel better. Like, yeah, it's a release. You're not holding it all in. The talking would do the same thing, but that's okay. If it's singing that you have to do, then sing away, then. Anyway, some of the lines I wanted to let you know were, "It seems in life you just can't win." And that made me sad. Like, the whole song was kind of sad. There was another line I wrote down. I didn't write down everything. I didn't write down the song. But every now and then there'd be a line and I'd be like, oh, and then I'd write it. Another line, "You can see the sorrow in my face." And near the end of the song, he wrote and sang, "Troubles in my life to me are just a given. Sometimes I wish I wasn't still living." That was the worst. I hope after hearing that line, somebody really pushed him to seek professional help. I hope it wasn't serious. I hope it's just a way of being poetic to say, it's such a bad day, I'd be happy if this day didn't even exist and I wasn't living. Or I'd like to just fast forward 1 month and move on from there. I hope that's what he meant, but given what we experienced with Garrison and Sister Wives last year, I just think that when there's a cry for help like this, nobody really knows what's going on in people's minds. So I hope that people take steps to see to it that he gets the help he needs. That's it. That's all I have. That was the end of episode 3. Hope you enjoyed it. It was an interesting one, I think. I'll see you back here for episode 4. Bye-bye.